Hey guys, welcome back to the Hear Me Roar pod. I am Tobi and my co-host is none other than the Kate Save, which you might know her from Shark Tank. She's also founder of BeFit Foods and picked up Telstra's Business of the Year award too. Kate?
Well, Tobi, you've got a super impressive CV, 25 years in global commercialisation experience, and you founded Creative Cubes, Australia's leading co-working space and real estate business.
All right, let's get on with the pod.
Hey Tobes, what's going on this week?
Well, I was a little bit dirty in July,
Yeah.
but a lot happier in August.
What's that about?
Well, I have a variable mortgage, variable interest rate mortgage, and we've had some good, like a little frustrating in July, but August was great. Actually, the guy coming on the show, his name's Paul Williams. He runs Mortgage Choice South Melbourne. And he's going to come on the show and we'll talk a little bit more about what he's seeing in his world.
Yeah.
Because for me, you know, taking the mortgage is a serious thing.
Oh, absolutely. And I must say, the variable fixed thing, when I first got my first investment property 20-something years ago now, must have been 5, yeah, I locked it in at a fixed rate because I wanted to know that I could afford it, and I knew I could afford it.
Yeah.
It killed me. So rates dropped by 4%. And yeah, absolute killer. I locked it in for 5 years.
So it's super interesting. I was on the flip side. So I was borrowing money during COVID at like 2%.
Yes.
And then it rose and it went crazy.
Yeah.
And at 2%, my mortgage broker at the time was like, do you want to lock this in? I was like, no, what for? This is piss easy. And then it started to rise.
Yeah.
And it rose to a point, I'll share honest numbers. My mortgage was $4,500. At the peak, $12,500. I didn't renovate the house. I didn't put an extension on the house. I didn't do anything to the house. It was just
You need a few other jobs.
extreme.
No time for sleep.
Well, no kidding. Sim and I had to get our hustle on.
Yeah.
Sim had to pick up some extra work. I had to pick up some extra work doing some stuff.
Yeah.
It was pretty traumatic.
Yeah.
And so then I was in a position where I could move to a variable.
Yeah.
So I was able to remortgage, move to variable, and I'm back to winning. We're on our way back to $4,500 hopefully a month. Hopefully.
Yes.
I'm not sure it'll go that low, but hopefully Paul, after this break, thanks to Rise, can educate us on where it's going and what it's doing.
Sounds good.
Guys, I want to introduce you to Rise, a business cohort like no other. So what is the Rise Network? Rise Network is a curated inner circle of 10 to 12 like-minded peers designed to provide a confidential, high-trust environment where business owners and leaders can gain strategic insights, actionable solutions, and lasting relationships. Rise isn't just networking, it's a game-changing business support system. It has strategic problem solving built in, expert facilitation, actionable insights, long-term impact and authentic relationships, and it's based exclusively around high-trust cohorts. For your membership, you gain full access to Creative Cubes. That means you can drop in when you're on the run to use the meeting rooms, breakout spaces, or even just dock in for the day. We wanted to serve the underserved, the people that do need the help, do need the support, don't necessarily have the funds to be able to do it, and don't necessarily fit into one of these other organizations. And so that's where Rise kind of came from. So there you have it, guys. Go to werise.au, and I hope to see you at one of our cohorts soon. Mr. Paul, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
It's great to have you here. I see you in South Melbourne all the time. You're running South Melbourne Mortgage Choice, or Mortgage Choice South Melbourne, as a franchisee.
Yes.
Yeah, and so that's pretty cool because Mortgage Choice is actually a publicly public company? Are they owned by real estate?
We're owned by realestate.com now. We're publicly listed, and then a couple of years ago, realestate.com bought Mortgage Choice, and we're franchises within that whole ecosystem, which is really good.
So do you get the power of a public company at the size of a small business?
Yeah.
So you get that power in terms of your ability to serve your clients across a range of...
Yeah, it's a really good point. The benefit, one of the benefits is choice. And you might say, like, so what? But choice gives people more value. Differently, you'd be amazed, actually, the difference between banks in Australia in terms of what they'll lend to people, what their interest rates are, how you can deal with them, how easy they are to deal with. You look at the headline, you think, I can get some money out of that bank, and yet people do it online, for example, and for whatever reason, sometimes it doesn't all go to plan, and the computer says no. And where a broker comes in is we can actually tailor solutions for people, talk to the lenders before we submit, have good dialogue, help people understand why we're recommending a particular lender. So the choice and Mortgage Choice is a real benefit for people, we believe.
So there's two things. Kate and I were on opposite extremes. I want to get your take on both of our situations, but actually, unbeknownst to you, Paul, I know one of your clients, and one of your clients was on the verge of actually losing their house. And you probably know this, but you don't know that I know them. And they were on well, maybe this is more than one of your clients. I don't really know. I'm not in your business, but this is what I know. What I know is they're on the verge of losing their house because they couldn't keep up with the variable and the skyrocketing interest rates. And that person actually went to multiple mortgage brokers, they went to multiple banks, and to your point earlier, computer says no, computer says no, computer says no. In comes Paul from Mortgage Choice South Melbourne, and he's like, that's BS. I'm paraphrasing, this is third party knowledge, you can qualify or disqualify. And you actually saved them from having to sell their house and put them in a position where they actually got money back from their house to be able to give them a nice cushion to be able to pay school fees and whatnot. And I know those people really well, and they are the happiest people as a result of the computer saying no on the left and Paul coming in on the right and going, no, I got you. And you handle the business amazingly well. So I don't know if you know that story, but I know that story.
Thank you. Yeah, that means a lot to me. It's one of the best things we can do for people is to actually listen. And that's really important. A computer is not necessarily going to listen and show empathy and understand the background, understand their real situation, talk to both partners, understand a bit about their family. Importantly, Tobi and Kate, where people are going in their life, what's next. So it's a matter of just understanding that first. That's the first thing we do. And once you understand that, then we can come up with a solution, work with them. And it's interesting, sometimes you've got to bring one partner along, both partners along. One might need more time than the other to understand conceptually where we're going. If we make a recommendation, we often recommend several lenders to choose from. Which option do you prefer? Which fits in with your lifestyle? What are the kids up to? What are you doing with your home? Are you making any improvements? What are the future plans? Are you buying investment property later on? Or whatever the situation is, everyone's different. And the thing I love about our approach to mortgage broking is you fundamentally listen. We've got lots of choice. We've got loads of experience on how to get the job done. And I'm really proud when you can look somebody in the eye and say, do you know what? We got there. We saved their house, or we, allowed their kids to, some examples, we get people in, they want to be in the McKinnon Secondary College school zone, for example. And people pay a premium to go there. And some people go to a particular bank, but they can't afford to get into the zone. So we explore other options. Yes, we can get you in that zone. That's life-changing. If their kids can go to their school of choice or hang out with their mates or whatever the case may be, that's pretty damn good. So it's a bit, it's sort of like a bit more than traditional broking. You've got to have that human side and that understanding of their situation.
You're a fabric of the community, right? Like you are the local knowledge in the local community and the local area that is hopefully helping these people. Helping these people achieve stuff not only for themselves but for their kids. I see that. I saw a funny meme the other day, and I thought I was going to send it to you, but it escaped me. It was what's his name? Zach Galifianakis with the beard from The Hangover, like smiling. He's like, bank said no to my mortgage because they said I couldn't afford $1,200 repayments a month, so I'll rent instead and pay $2,000. And it was Zach sort of like, you idiots. So
it's quite a common. It's actually what you just said. It's quite common. But you know, we've had, again, I'm really proud of lots of situations where we've been able to help people where they've gone to a bank, like newly self-employed, go to the bank. Bank said no. We went back to the same bank 2 days later. Bank said yes.
Yeah, wow.
This was life-changing. Somebody's just started a business.
Yeah.
I want debt funding, not equity funding. I don't need an investor. I want to do it myself. We got the job done. Yeah. You know, just things like that.
It's like my daughter's coming to me saying no, and then going to Sim and Sim going yes. And the money's come from the same pool.
Yeah. My first investment property that I got when I was 19 or just turned 20, and my sister was still in high school, and the two of us were working 7 casual jobs, all just hospitality, retail, bakeries, everything that was on the peninsula, we worked there. And a lot of the money we were getting back then was cash, and we had tips and we had savings, but not a lot.
PAYG?
Yeah, yep. But that's because it was all casual jobs as well. And no matter what happened, the banks were not going to give us a loan. And I just heckled a local broker. And about 3 months later, he called me when I was working at the surf shop one day. He goes, catch the bus up and I'll meet you at the office. And I'm like, what's this about? And he's like, I'll tell you when you get there. And I get there, and I already knew the property I wanted to buy. And he goes, I'm going to give you the loan. I don't know why, but I'm going to give you the loan. And that guy, I still see him today, and he helps so many businesses, more coaching and stuff like that now, but just you need someone to listen and give you a go. I knew we could pay it back and it wasn't going to be an issue, but someone to listen.
So in the first segment of this show, Kate talked about a fixed interest that she was paying, and then the interest rates dropped, and I shared that I was on a variable and it rose. What are you suggesting people do these days?
Good question. At the moment, rates are coming down.
Yep.
So we've had, we had that period where some people are on fixed rates of 1.88,
yep,
1.99.
I think it was a 2 point something.
Variable rates are now, we're in the high 6s. Now they're coming around to mid 5s. We expect the Reserve Bank of Australia to drop interest rates 3 times.
Before end of 25?
Before the end of 2025. So
that's after the August one?
Including the August one.
So 2 more after August.
Yes, and one bank, Westpac have said there's a 4th in 2026. Now, this is speculation, but if you look at the future money markets, interest rate futures, interbank lending rates, it's all pointing to that. The rhetoric coming from the Reserve Bank is now inflation's under control in Australia, jobs are a little bit weak, there's room to cut. Now, there's pros and cons for all of that. So our view is we do have a conversation with people about, their limits and what happens if rates, because nothing's guaranteed in life. And also, irrespective of what the Reserve Bank do, banks can do what they like. They can price home loans up, down, out of cycle, whatever they like. They need to make a profit. They got to serve their shareholders. So most people these days are going variable rate because, why? Because interest rates are on their way down. They want to ride that downward rate curve. Kate.
Yes, miss that. Absolutely. Every time it went down.
Yeah, so Kate was going downhill, I was going uphill.
Over years. But I took it in that I can afford it. It's a lesson. Just take
and you know what, Kate, at that time, you made the right call. Yeah. I'm comfortable. I know what my repayments are going to be for that fixed period of time. That's okay. Other people, I think rates are going to come down, or they listen to advice. The vast majority of people do have a variable rate, and that allows us as brokers also to periodically each year at least is try to negotiate a better deal.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if you drop to 2%, I'm locking. But before that, I'm not sure that I should be locking.
Can I just say I've had a couple locked in at 2% over the last few years, 2% over 5 years recently, and I was like, oh, amazing.
Incredible.
So good. Or maybe late twos. They'd be closer to threes, I reckon they were.
Yeah, but look, variable's good because sometimes you might be able to pay a little bit extra. We coach people to pay fortnightly. You can save 5 years off a 30-year term, and it's usually about, on the average mortgage, $120,000 in interest saving just by paying fortnightly. Just little things like that, and variable rates allow you to do that.
Yes. Husband and I actually got that advice. We switched from monthly to fortnightly, and that, game changer.
That unfortunately doesn't work for me because I get paid monthly.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like we get paid on the 15th and I try and clear my mortgage on the 18th or 19th of the month so that it's just done and it's out of my hair.
Yeah.
I don't want it lingering. But maybe I should get some advice on that, Paul.
You can always find a way to pay a little bit extra. You can always find a way to pay fortnightly. There's different ways to do that.
Yeah.
You'd be amazed. It's you look at it and it's a big amount in the years ahead, but just sometimes the little 1%ers make a big difference.
Oh, yeah.
When you see the 100, like when it drops by 100 at some point, you're like, so good.
Yeah, well, the other interesting thing is, as rates come down, and they will, expect another 3 cuts in 2025, including the August one.
Yep.
The converse to that is, for those who are not in the market as yet, what does that do? The inflationary impact on property prices. So Melbourne or Victoria, for example, has had very little growth, if any. All the other states have been flying, South Australia, Queensland, New South Wales, going really strongly. So, we're expecting the, rate cuts, continued population growth, net migration growth, like in Victoria, for example, 2,500 people net population growth per week.
Oh,
so some are coming from interstate, others coming from overseas.
Because they all left during COVID.
They're coming back.
People are coming back from Queensland because they're getting expensive up there now. The cost of a house in Brisbane's higher than it is in Melbourne now.
Yes.
Actually, first time ever.
We're doing a deal in Brisbane, in Fortitude Valley. And I've got another one for you. After this,
love it. The more deals you do, Toby, it allows Mortgage Choice to have more locations. So please keep going.
I'm trying, mate. I'm really trying my hardest. It has been challenging, but it's been good. We're doing a deal in Fortitude Valley. Fortitude Valley pricing is just as expensive as Sydney CBD.
Whoa.
Yeah. Oh. Another one for you. Have you visited Athena Home Loans in Sydney?
Yes. Yeah, they're an interesting lender. Actually, I've got a lot of respect for the founders of that business. They come out of one of the big banks. They think and act differently. I'll give you a couple of examples. I was in their office the other day.
In Sydney?
I'm sorry?
Were you in their office in Sydney or in Melbourne?
No, the Melbourne one.
Yep.
I've been invited to a breakfast there in Sydney to meet their team in Kent Street.
You might have an office upstairs.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
That's amazing. But do you know what? It's really refreshing. Our government has promoted competition in lending, like the ACCC, and we're a highly regulated banking system, which is good. But there is room for niche players like Athena Bank. They think and act differently. Generally speaking, people's borrowing capacity is a bit higher. And do you know what? One of the things I love about them, as people's equity grows in the property, the rate comes down automatically without us as brokers or the customer having to go to them, and asking for a rate card. It's quite interesting, and they're doing some real innovative products. We're working on some products with them launched in September, October in 2025 that are real game changers, like amazing game changers. So we really trust them. And you sort of, as brokers, you get to see the best and the worst of lenders every day. And look, they're partners of ours, so I treat them with respect. They have their place. They have the customers they want to attract. But Athena are really impressive. Very, very impressive.
So I'm with Athena, and I talk about Athena only because I was in Sydney last week. I'm doing a deal in that building. So I've taken 2 floors in that building. Their HQ is on ground floor. Maybe it goes ground floor on 1. But you'll be able to...
Kent Street, great spot.
In where?
Kent Street, did you
Yes.
say? Amazing.
Did I say Kent Street?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Kent Street.
It's a great location.
We actually
not far
have,
from your circular quay.
Yeah.
Yes. So, but yeah, Kent Street's coming online probably in December.
Very exciting. And,
Yeah.
it's like, I feel like Athena, it's a bit like Creative Cubes. They think differently. The people in here, they're innovative. They're ahead of the game. They're always thinking about products. What products can we introduce? How can we get better? How can we improve the customer experience? And it's, it's...
Well, I am a customer. We drifted, but I am a customer. I've been really impressed with them.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be in the same building as them come December. You'll have a spot there as well upstairs when you frequent. But Athena have been fantastic to me and my family through our mortgage broker, and I agree with you. The experience has been fantastic as well.
Great to hear. Yeah, that's really nice to hear, isn't it? Like you don't, often people focus on the negatives of banks, and the banks do cop a fair bit.
Yeah.
So it's nice. It's refreshing to hear the stories.
Well, I like them. I like them because they're not the crusty banker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're young, innovative, digital tech, entrepreneurial.
Yep.
They're trying to push the narrative. I also have that same feeling with Judo Bank.
Yeah.
I don't bank with Judo Bank.
Recommend them.
Yeah,
I
but
hear it
Judo,
all the time.
Yeah, Judo again. They're trying to do it differently.
Yeah, Judo are, and they think differently. Innovative, high performance culture. They only employ, high performers and good thinkers. We know the people in there, and that's the role they play in small business in Australia, because the big four banks have enjoyed the small business market or the business market for many years. Is now under threat, and the big four will need to keep improving. Judo's putting pressure on them. Judo are there and they're lending money. They're thinking, they sort of look at businesses more on a case by case, a bit of the old fashioned way.
Yeah.
But they get the job done, and that helps businesses in their growth plans, and it's a really important part of our business community to access funding.
Yeah, I must say I'm with one of the big banks and had a very rocky ride with them over the years. However, I found whenever there's a new bank manager who's actually a really people person, you sit and have a meeting with them. And I've had this within the last year and just got unbelievable results. And I'm like, how over the previous years could I have asked for the same thing, got flat out no's, and the new manager's come in and has bettered what I was asking for without even asking. And it's just the conversations and the right people connecting with people at the end of the day.
Well, that's right, Kate, and it's even like, a bank will say whatever their policy is.
Yes.
In our view as brokers, there's always an exception to that policy, and the big four, some of them have been actually quite good. I will say that if you put a good case, and that person you refer to has obviously put a good case, and it made
Done
sense.
the work behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's right, and again, as brokers, that's what we pride ourselves on. You've got to understand. Oh my God, to get your head around 35, 40 different lender policies, it takes time and it takes a lot of research. Every day we've got to learn and keep up to date with all the changes. It changes all the time.
Yeah.
But you've got to navigate your way through, present a deal that makes sense.
Yeah. And before you walk away, I would say we've had 10 bank managers over the years that I've run my two businesses, and my in-laws use the same bank, and I think 7 out of 10 have never been in our favour, either of our businesses, but 3 out of 10 have been outstanding, and it's just kept us with them because you hang on because you've got someone good, but if they go, you just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you want someone who's got your back.
Yeah.
As a business owner, or even as
mum and they need to understand who you are as a person and your business, because not tapping out, like, you're going to ride it through. Everyone has tough times.
That's right. And you want to have a conversation with a bank around what the future is, as well as, I think too often banks have, focused too much on the past. Let's talk about the now and the future. Yeah. And then how can we, work together in future.
Paul, you're amazing. Your team's amazing. I love your energy. I love getting text messages. Hi from Cremorne, hi from Balaclava, hi from South Melbourne, hi from Sydney. It brings a lot of joy to me, knowing that we're playing a small role in helping you and your team get up. And, I really genuinely love your energy. And
Thank you, Tobi.
it's no coincidence that you are doing what you're doing and as successful as you've been. You're an amazing human being.
I appreciate that, and I disagree with your comment about a small part. You've actually played a bigger part than what you would imagine.
Okay.
Personally, supporting us.
Sure.
And, you know, an example, the happiness team, it feels like they're part of our team. Yeah. They're amazing. Every customer that walks into your various offices we operate from.
Our offices.
They're amazing. It's just incredible.
They're so good, aren't they?
Yeah.
Love it, love it.
Yeah,
so
the same experience, whether our customers go to Richmond or Balaclava or Balaclava is the most amazing space I've seen. It's
cool,
beautiful.
right?
I love it.
Yeah. Well, Paul, thank you for coming on the show. I'm going to link all of Paul's details. Mortgage Choice South Melbourne. You don't have to be in South Melbourne to engage with Paul. He'll take you on a digital journey as well. So if you're listening from all corners of the globe, probably in Australia anyway, reach out to Paul and his team at Mortgage Choice. I've heard firsthand how amazing he is. I've seen firsthand how amazing he has been to customers inside of Creative Cubes as well. And I couldn't personally, I don't do a lot of endorsements, but I couldn't endorse him more enough. So we're going to head to a break. Paul Williams, Mortgage Choice South Melbourne's where it's at. Check the show notes for more details. Paul, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, Kate and Toby.
Pleasure.
WeAreLuna.co is a great place for you and your business to start off with phenomenal accounting and legal services. So if you're a startup or a scale-up looking for legal and finance support, or alternatively looking to raise capital, WeAreLuna.co is where you need to be starting off. Cool's Paul.
Yeah, I love his honesty. It doesn't feel any salesy vibes. There's nothing unauthentic about it, which is so
He's the real deal.
Yeah,
he
absolutely.
is the real deal. So you remember we had Alice Koenig on the show?
Yes.
So Paul works with Alice's cousin.
Ah.
I got an email from Paul and Matthew Koenig was in copy.
Yeah.
And I knocked on his, I got an email from Paul with Matthew copied, and I was like, what? How many Koenigs are there in this world? And so I quickly beelined to their office because we were both in South Melbourne at the same time. And I was like, dude, are you related to Alice? He's like, yes. I heard the basketball player? He's like, yes. I go, she's one of my friends. He's like, she's my cousin.
I've got one question. Did he smell like Old Spice? Did he wear
Alice,
the Old Spice?
That's a good question. She's obsessed.
And it's got me thinking about it now. Every time I hear that little clip about her bringing home, or you got her 20 bottles of Old Spice.
It wasn't 20, but I bought her, I emptied the shelf.
Yeah.
We talked about it when Alice... Anyway, Matthew Koenig works with Paul at South Melbourne Mortgage Choice. Those guys are the real deal. Yeah. So I personally, if you're looking for a mortgage, genuinely, I've spoken to a lot of people. I've done a lot of things. Over the years, I've owned many properties. Paul Williams and his team, the best of the best.
So good. Shortcut it.
Yeah. So stop messing around with all these other, bankers and challenging people. Jump in, Paul, Mortgage Choice, bang, he'll have you back.